Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a watch by a young watchmaker. He only turned 30 this year. From Berlin, Felipe Pikullik, one of the up-and-coming independent watchmakers of our era, and he has a respect for history, as the model you see here is the Felipe Pikullik HTH Homage to Harrison. Of course, we speak of 18th century navigation chronometer innovator John Harrison. And while this watch isn't altogether similar to anything Harrison made, it is a beautiful and original statement by the man whose name appears on the dial. So, Berlin-born and Glashütte-educated, Felipe Pikullik continues to practice in his city of birth. The watch you see right here in stainless steel, featuring a 41 millimeter diameter. It's 10.5 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, you can see it is 50.4 millimeters. And it has a spacing of 20 millimeters in between the lugs. So the watch includes a strap that is remarkably robust. You can see the leather, quite thick. In profile, the cut is massive. This isn't stuffed. The leather's just that thick. It's also been lacquered in profile for a smooth, refined aesthetic. On the bottom, you can see it is a brand new Felipe Pikullik strap, and it has a buttery feel underneath. Taking a quick look, you can see both sides, brand new, no crimping, no gouging. We have Pikullik's branded buckle, the only part of the watch that feels generic, but that's fine because the rest of it is so right. Taking a quick look, we have stepped lugs, which give the watch a little bit of an antique look. You can also see that we have vertical satination at the mid-case, then the lugs, the bezel, and the case back are all polished. The crown is FP branded, that's the logo of the company. And instead of the usual longitudinal satination on the case band, you can see it's a very short vertical satination. The bezel has a little vertical lip and then a shallow domed profile, giving way to a dial that features a lovely polished grille on top of a media blasted base. Now, you can get many different characters here. This is the optional radially arrayed conventional Arabic numerals. You can get Romans, you can get Eastern Arabic numerals. Several options are available. Alpha style hands at center, beautifully cut and mirror finished with rounded polish, handsome execution. You can see how this track is bright polished and fixed by little pegs to the dial along with the nameplate up top. Now, it's a very three-dimensional dial because you do have that grille on top. It has an aesthetic similar to that pioneered by Armand Biard at Sartori Biard in France. And so what we've got here is a dial that has a blasted base, and it's made of brass, and it features black rhodium to give it this sort of anthracite coloration. And so black rhodium was achieved using a higher application than what you would see on, for example, a Swiss watch movement that is silver. When you really layer on dark rhodium, it starts to turn black. And then we turn over to the reverse, and we could see the same application on the three-quarter bridge of the movement. Now, we have plated gold on the balance cock, and you can see that this is number 22 of 50. The model you see right here was launched in 2021, so this is the 22nd of 50 made in that series launched in 2021, and the finishing is second to none. Well, you can see media blast on the bridge for the escapement as well as the base plate. It's really everything above that speaks to Pikullik's skill. First of all, take a look at the beveling on that bridge. Look how rounded, broad, and mirrored it is. The same is true on the balance cock. Then take a look at the engravings, all of which are sort of a florisant or a banknote scrolling, raised in relief from the base and blackened with a super dark application of rhodium. You can also see the freehand engraving on the balance cock of a different fashion. You can see it's been engraved with depth, whereas these scrolls are raised and relieved. We have double solarization on both ratchet wheel and the crown wheel. And you can see that we have a unique custom-made click to prevent the works from running backwards. Now, obviously, the train you're looking at here is a Unitas 6498, but massively customized by Pikullik. It is a 3 Hz beat rate, manual wind with a 50-hour power reserve. And you can see it is a large movement at over 36 millimeters in diameter, properly sized for a watch of this dimension. You You can also see the screw heads feature more of a Bombay or rounded profile across the top, though they are mirror finished all the same. It's a different kind of look, and a more vintage pocket watch-like look to have rounded screws rather than flattened and black polished. Deeply impressive, and of course, a very German watch, paying indirect homage to British watchmaking and innovations in the 18th century. This watch, 30 meters water resistant, so you don't want to take it swimming, but it may someday be remembered less as an homage to Harrison and more as the beginning of a superstar career on the part of up-and-comer Felipe Pikullik. So Harrison is long dead. His magnum opus, the H4, sits in a museum. This could sit on your wrist. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.